Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part we are learning about Walmart store sales prediction, and here the dataset that we have got is from Kaggle. On the basis of the dataset we are trying to create an interactive dashboard like this where you can use the date filter to see sales performance over a period of time. You can also use the date filter to select a particular year. You can select a particular month or a quarter. You also have holiday flag, whether that particular week was a holiday or not. So we will be able to see some of weekly sales by holiday flag, total sales, average weekly sales, average monthly sales, and how to calculate average monthly sales, how to create a temperature bin, an unemployment rate bin, and see the performance of weekly sales by unemployment bin, weekly sales by temperature. You can see we have 45 different stores here, and which store has maximum sales. These are top 10 these are top 10 stores by sum of sales, and this is sum of weekly sales by year, quarter, and month, where you can use the drill down and drill up to see the data for different value, like for a day, for a quarter, for a month, whatever you prefer. So how to prepare this KPI row, everything we will discuss in this simple tutorial which is for beginners. So let's get started with it. So the data set that we are going to use in this project is Walmart dataset, and in the data set you can see, if you read about the data set, so you can see this is the historical data that covers sales from 2010 to 2012 in the Walmart store sales, and you can find following columns here. So if you will look at the data set, you will see a file like this where you will see we have the store ID, date, weekly sales. This is holiday flag, whether it was holiday week or not. So information about that is given here. Like here you can see the holiday flag. If it is a special holiday week, so 1 is holiday week and 0 is non-holiday week. So we have to check if there is more sales on the holiday week or non-holiday weeks. So we can see that. Then we have the temperature information where the store is. So day wise, what is the temperature there? We have fuel price in that particular region. What is the fuel price? Cost of fuel in the region. CPI is prevailing consumer price index, so which is given here, and unemployment is given here, like prevailing unemployment rate, it is given here. Then we have holiday events, like you can see from 12 Feb. These are the Super Bowl holiday event. These are Labor Day holiday events. So you can create some kind of conditional column on the basis of this as well, whether it was holiday event or not. But that is something that you can do later. So this is the simple data set, and we can use it for exploratory data analysis, sales forecast, this type of simple data analysis projects. So when you will open the file, the Walmart sales file that you have got from Kaggle, when you will open this Excel S files, you may receive this type of notification. So here I am clicking yes if you are getting that, and then you will see the file is not appearing properly as a table. So for data preparation, I will select one column because this is where all data is actually. If you will just see. So this is the column where all data is, and I can go to the home tab, the data tab, and here I will click on text to columns, and I will select delimited and select comma. So once I will select comma, you will see this will be properly aligned here as a tabular data, and now you can save it as Excel SX file. So you can go to File, Save As, and you can select your folder, and you can select it as Excel SX file. Okay. So after saving it as Excel SX file, you will be able to save it. You will be able to use it in different projects. To analyze the sales data in Power BI to do sales forecasting, etc., you can open Power BI desktop, and in Power BI desktop you can connect the CSV file. So you can click on get data, and here the file is actually in Excel SX format which we saved earlier. So we will go to the data set, and from here we will select the Excel SX file and open. Once we have opened it, you will see the sheet in it, and select that sheet and make sure all the columns are properly aligned with your values. And from here we will simply load data. It is loading the data as Walmart, so the table name is Walmart. If you want to change it, you can change it as per liking. Now here in insert tab you will find text box. So this is what we usually do. We create a heading like this. So heading can be aligned on left hand side or right hand side, wherever you prefer. So I will align it on right hand side this time, and here we will put the name. For example, this is Walmart data set. So we will write Walmart store sales prediction regression. It is a regression problem, but we will do exploratory data analysis on it with Power BI. So sales prediction data set, exploratory data analysis, and we will select it, make it 28 font size and make it bold. We can align it in center. If you want to increase the height and width, you can increase it from here. You can select a particular color for it, and then you can go to effects. You can enable shadow and visual border. In visual border also you can select the same color, and later we will try to choose a different theme if needed. But this is how you can set up your heading. After setting up your heading, you can also insert some icon here because you are doing sales forecasting, you know. So you can go to image and insert some images here. So we can use some images here representing card and, monetary growth and sales, etc., whatever you can call it. And we can increase its size. This is image here. We can go to style, particularly in general tab. We can enable visual border and shadow for it as well, and we can increase its size. So usually we can use this sidebar for filters, and we can use the area that is here on right hand side for our visuals. In footer also, if you want to include any additional information, you can include. I am just adding some text from my end, like if you want to learn Power BI, you can learn it at Slidescope. Now this is our area. Now we will start working here and start putting some visuals here. Now first thing that we can do here is we can put a simple card here, and in the card we can put some KPIs. So first thing that we can bring is total sales. So here weekly sales are given. So you can see in the data, weekly sales are given. Okay, and so this is a store ID, this is date, and for this store ID on this particular date, you can see the data is of also of, 1 week apart. So 2 July, then 9 July, etc. So then we can sum this. So if you will just click here and sum of weekly sales, this will be total sales. What we can do here, we can go to call out value, and here we can make it 25 font size because we may have to put more data here. So this is 6.74 billion. It is showing as weekly sale. It is showing automatic. If you don't want to show it, if you want to show it as a exact number, so you can show it like this. But or millions, if you want to show it in millions, whatever is your preferred unit, you can show it like that. Okay, so this is our weekly sales. It is given as sum of weekly sales. So what we can do here is in category label we can rename. So it will be total sales. Okay, and then we can go to category label, give it a color. So let's give this color, make it bold, and in call out value we will choose this color and make it bold. And here we have this, and we can again go to the format your visual part, where we can go to general. In effects we can enable shadow and visual border. For visual border we can select the same color and select rounded corners if needed. All of this is additional. If you need, you can do it. Then we can click on it, press Ctrl C and press Ctrl V to make a copy. And here, if you want to show, you can show average weekly sales, right? This is total sales, and here we can simply select average. Obviously average will not be in billion because the data is given in terms of weeks. So we can go to call out value. From here we can go to million, and this is average sales. So here we will simply go and change or rename it to average weekly sales or something we can write. So this will be average weekly sales, and this will give us some indication like in total what is total sales, average weekly sales what is total sales. And most important thing is when you have something like date available here, right? So you have the date uh, column here, so you can use it as a filter. So you can click on the slicer, and since we decided we are going to use this particular area as our sidebar for putting filters and slicers, so we will put date here. When you will put date, so by default it will start showing you a range like this. So you can select, for example, if you want to see from 10 to, let's say, this particular date, so you will be able to see all that data, and you can click clear selection to revert back. Now we can copy this. So we can go to the home tab, select it, copy format painter, and apply it here to use the same kind of styling. Here this is header. So we can go to, first of all we can click on slicer. This is slicer header. First of all we can try to increase its height, width, and if we don't have enough control on it, we can disable it and go to general setting and enable title. So we can call it date filter or whatever you want to call it, and we will choose a particular color for it, make it bold, align it in center. This way we have the date filter. Obviously these values may be small, so what we can do, we can go to visual settings, value setting, and we can choose a font size of 12. So this way we have the slicer and the values as well. For further settings, you can again play with these different kind of settings. Like if you want to select a particular font color, make it bold, you can do it like that, right? So this is one way. And now we have the KPIs and we have the date filter here. If we have to do some monthly calculations, then I'm just telling you that we can go to modeling tab. From here we can create a new column, okay, and we can call it year month column. So date, this particular field is already there called as date. We are using format date, and we are using YYYMM format to find year month. Okay, so when you will do this, obviously it is given, but I'm just showing you so you can see the month is given like July 2010, August 2010, September 2010, and so on, right? So year month will be calculated or created as a new column. Then let's say we want to find out average monthly sales. Just giving an example here. We can go to modeling tab and new measure. So we are calculating average monthly sales. Here the table name is Walmart. So we are selecting for average X, because in average X, first thing that you have to select is your table. It calculates the average, that is arithmetic mean of set of expressions evaluated over a table, right? So in average X, the values we are selecting is your month. First we are selecting values, Walmart your month, and then the expression we are writing is calculate sum of your table weekly sales. Okay, so your table will be Walmart. So first it will calculate the total sales and average it over month. So when you will do this, we can create another copy here, and let's try if we are able to find the correct data. So you can see on an average the monthly sale is 204.16 million. Okay, and here also we can go and rename for this visual. So we can write AVG monthly sales. Now there is one thing, if you obviously we try to calculate these things, apply formulas as per our knowledge. Sometimes we may be wrong. If you think anything is wrong here, you can indicate that in the comment section, and we will try to give you the correct formula if needed. So this is total sales, average weekly sales, average monthly sales. You can also do yearly in the similar way. Since we are building some KPIs, we can also copy it and try to see how many distinct stores we have. Now here you can see the store IDs are given. Okay, you can see there are 45 obviously, but store IDs are given n number of times here, right? There are some n number of rows for each store ID. So that's why what we can do, we can put a store here. We can select count distinct here. Okay, what is 0.0 million? Because we have copied it, so it is using the same unit. So we can go auto, and this is count of store. So for these many stores, we have total sales, average weekly sales, average monthly sales as per the data that we have. To align them properly, we can click here, and in general setting, in properties, in padding setting, we can reduce the top padding to show the values in middle. Next, we also have some values like temperature, unemployment rate, fuel price, etc. So we can also try whatever is needed, try to put it here, and we can try to adjust their height and width, or arrange them so that we can fit these n number of KPIs here. So we have count of store here. So first thing that we can do, what is the average temperature? So we can put average temperature and rename for this visual as AVG temp. Then we have this. So here we can write something like what is average fuel price there, because we have to find out are these type of factors affecting sales. So average fuel price. Okay. So these type of things are there, and this way we can build a simple KPI row which will help us in analyzing the data. For example, if we just keep the data of 2012, okay, let's say, so you will see that average fuel price is 3.74, but when you reduce the data, average fuel price is reducing. So obviously, because of inflation, average fuel price will also increase, and that's why total sales may also get affected. What we can do here, we can do one more thing, just giving you an example. So here instead of date, if we just use year as filter, because there are only 3 years, so we can use slicer setting and use it as a time. Okay, so I will just reduce the width a little bit. So you can use it as a tile here, and we can try to increase the value size, etc. But this way, if you just want to see for a particular year, okay, if you want to see it for a particular year, you can select it. So in 2010 it was 2.29, 11 it was 2.45, and then in 12 it was less. So when was it increasing, when was it decreasing, you can find that. Or you can show it as a simple drop down also to utilize the space, and if needed you can add more filters in. One thing that we can find out is holiday versus non-holiday sales. They have given holiday flag whether that week was a holiday week or non-holiday week. So we can use a simple donut chart here. So in donut chart we can use one categorical data, and other field that we can use is a non-categorical or numerical field. So in legend we will simply bring whether it was holiday or non-holiday. So you can see 0 and 1 here. One thing that we can do, we can copy the styling first of all. So after copying the styling, in values we can bring the total sales. So you can see in 0 and 1. So in case of holiday weeks, total sales, the total of entire sales is 7.5%. Okay. And all other values are 92.5% values are for non-holiday weeks. So this is what you can see, sum of weekly sales by holiday flag. Now, similar to what we have done here, suppose we want to see how weekly sales gets affected by temperature, or how weekly sales get affected by fuel price. So we can take a simple scatter plot here, because these two are numerical continuous values. So let's take fuel price here and put fuel price on x-axis and weekly sales on y-axis, and here you will just use tone summarize and tone summarize. So here you can see we are not getting conclusive data, that we cannot determine the exact relationship that if the fuel price are increasing, will weekly sales will also increase or not. But usually this is how you can create a relation plot between two continuous numerical values. You can simply copy the formatting here and paste it here. Now as we have created this, suppose we want to see effect of employment rate on weekly prices or weekly sales. So here the unemployment rate is given. If you will see the unemployment rate, the minimum value is 3.89 and maximum value is 14.313. But there are many distinct values here. Okay. So what we can do here, simply we can go to unemployment rate and we can create a new group. By default the bin size is 0.27 of employment rate. We can make it, let's say 1. Let's say the bin size will be 1. For every value between 3 to 14 there will be one bin size. So number of bins will be 13 to 14 here. Similarly you can also say we are going with number of bins. So if we are going with number of bins 14, you can see one bin size will be 0.74. For 13 or 12 it will be close to 1, or 10 it will be close to 1. So whatever you want to choose you can decide. So here what we can do, first of all we will change this to stack column chart, and in a stack column chart on x-axis we are going to bring the unemployment bin field here. So this will be unemployment bins, and on y-axis we can bring the weekly sales, average weekly sales or sum of weekly sales. So you can see here that maximum weekly sales are in the unemployment bin range of 7 and 8. You can also do count of sales, etc. So whatever you prefer. So this is count of weekly sales by unemployment rate. So in what unemployment rate bin do we have the most number of sales? So this way you can find out. If you will see average of weekly sales, so on an average you can see it is an unemployment rate of 3.88, the maximum average weekly sales. So this way you can find out uh, relation between the unemployment variable and the weekly sales variable. Similar thing we can do with temperature also. So we can create a new group here with temperature. Here also let's take number of bins to 12, and then we will simply copy this, and after copying this here we will just replace it with temperature bins. So you will be able to see the effect of average of weekly sales by temperature bin, and you can see average weekly sales are lower when temperatures are very high. When temperature is in the range of 20, 32, 40, etc., you can see here average weekly sales are more. You can also use sum here to see the total value. Like in total, if you will see, when temperature is around 66, we have the maximum value of sales. Whatever you prefer, you can simply select it here. Here in these charts, you can go to x-axis. Here you can enable the title or values. Similarly in y-axis, for example, if you don't want to show the title and values, we can do it like this. Data labels we can switch on. So this way we can show sum of weekly sales by temperature. For filters, as we have added holiday filter, sorry, date filter, we can also add holiday filter here. So we will just replace this field with holiday flag, and if it is holiday, then you can see the performance. If it is not a holiday, you can see the performance, and you can clear it from here. So you can just use this button here to clear it. So or what you can do, you can click on it once again to select all. In such cases, if you want to show select all, so you can go to slicer setting. In selection you can switch it on, and here in general this is not date filter, this is basically holiday flag. Similarly, you can add as many filters as you want. For example, if you want to see monthly data, so you can select it, and from here in date you can just drag month here. So here you will see all the months will be displayed. So here we will click on it, and we will simply go to general setting, title, and call it month. This way you can create as many filters as you want. This is a very simple Walmart store sales prediction exploratory data analysis. And similarly you can also see relationship of more variables on the weekly sales. You can divide it into average sales, etc. So if you like this video, please hit like, and if you have any doubts or suggestions, please comment in the comment section, so that we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.